where we tackle some of the most interesting and challenging issues in the talent acquisition business space. My name is Peter Weddle, and I'm delighted that so many of you have joined us for today's show. Just a note on how we do things here. As we do with our in-person events here and our virtual stage, we do a 30-minute presentation or discussion. In this case, it'll be a discussion between myself and my guest. And then we follow that with an open mic period. The people who come to TAtech bring a lot of experience and wisdom with them. We think there's as much wisdom sitting in the audience out there as there is speaking on stage. So we want to hear from you. This is not a Q&A. This is an opportunity for you to express your views, express your thoughts about our topic today. And it is clearly an important topic. What we're going to talk about is peering into the crystal ball for job boards. Will 2026 be an existential threat or an era of new possibilities for these platforms that have been around since, well, I guess the early 1990s? There's one person who's there's no better person, I should say, to help me explore this topic than my guest today, Rob Brouwer, the CEO of jobrapido. Rob, welcome to the show.
Hey, Peter. Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you for having me here.
Well, it's my privilege, truly. So let's begin by having you tell everyone a little bit more about yourself and jobrapido.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm Rob. I'm the CEO of jobrapido. I've been around this industry since the time that I heard somebody say this a couple of weeks ago. Since the time the recruiters were still made of steel and job posts were still made of paper. So that's how long I've been around. I am the CEO of jobrapido, and jobrapido is a leading programmatic recruitment platform and a job search engine, and we are present in 58 countries around the world. We have about 125 million profile job seekers. And at any given time that you go to our website, there's like 40 million jobs live. We try to serve only the best fitted jobs to the job seeker and only the best fitted qualified candidates to our clients. And that's why we say we deliver qualified candidates on demand. We recently launched Job Espresso. That was during the TAtech in London. Thank you very much, Peter. Great stage to be at. We're going to talk a bit more about it, I think, later on. But Job Espresso is positioned as the one-stop shop for recruitment marketing, and it's specifically made for job boards and agencies. But I can tell more about it later.
Great. Well, thank you. So obviously, you're a person who's deeply familiar with this topic. I got involved with job boards back in the mid-90s when I started writing a column for the Wall Street Journal about this new thing called the internet, and in particular the employment space. So I've been looking over the shoulder of entrepreneurs like yourself and Jeff Taylor at Monster and now Boom Van, and Andy Hibble, the chief operating officer at Higher Ed Jobs. So we both bring a lot of experience to this particular topic. I also started publishing a guide in 1999 to job boards. There was a couple of hundred sites listed in that first guide, and when we did our last guide in 2013, we listed over 9,000, and we were only scratching the surface in our view. But what I think is most interesting is that of those several hundred sites in that very first guide in 1999, over half are still operating today. So that's, I think, a good entree to the 800-pound gorilla in the room. And that is that, of course, there has been no lack of self-appointed pundits predicting the death of job boards. So, Rob, is 2026 going to be the end of this quintessential approach to recruitment on the web, or will it be something else next year? What do you think?
But no doubt, job boards. Well, yeah, we spoke about this also during TAtech. Our job boards dying, but no doubt, job boards will have a difficult year ahead. market at best will labor market at best will probably stabilize next year. Um, but I think that some will probably not survive, but not because of the reasons that you point out. Our job boards, are at the end of their lifetime. The ones that have already started to adapt and change will find their new place in this changed ecosystem, and they will be stronger and more relevant. I think that the whole discussion around if job boards are dying is is maybe a little off. It's maybe the wrong conversation. Um, it assumes that the channel is broken, and I don't think the channel is broken because job seekers are still looking for jobs. So they're still you can only find them in limited places, and this old saying of where the job seeker go, the employer will follow is still is still true. We will follow. What is broken is, I think, the value exchange. So we are so stubbornly keep holding on to selling volume instead of results. We keep on optimizing for clicks instead of hires, and then how do we measure success? Really at the top of the funnel, where the recruiters have no issue, they have the issue at the bottom of the funnel. So the real conversation is not are they dying. I think it's more about what job boards need to evolve into. What do they need to become?
Well, let's talk about that. I completely agree. I think there have been job boards that are a very different version of themselves than they were when they launched. They evolved to meet the needs of their customer in the marketplace, and there are job boards who didn't. And the job boards who didn't, they will struggle, as you point out, and not
Right.
just 2026. But how is the nature of what employers expect from online recruitment advertising changing in your view?
Well, I think so. I hosted this huddle in November, and then was a job board expert huddle during one of the events during event season. And just to go to the close of it is that um, I believe that job boards need to transform from traffic sellers into becoming outcome partners. Um, so really focus on value, delivering value to their clients instead of trying to sell them traffic. So that's a short of it, right? So during this huddle, I had a whole bunch of old and new job board experts at the table, and we had the provocative title, the clock is ticking and job boards need to adapt, or otherwise they die. And what we discussed is that we see three major shifts happening in the market. The first one is the decoupling of the GDP. So the decoupling of job creation from the GDP growth. Last year and the year before, jobs fell 20, 30, 40% year on year, and the GDP slightly grew, and that is not normal. When you have been around this business as long as you and I have been, you know that at some point when the GDP start growing, jobs start growing. So, and that's not happening. Companies can do more with less, but if it's fully driven by productivity gains that they get through Gen AI, I doubt. It's just this insecurity is just decoupling the job creation from GDP. So they wait. The second one, this was the consensus in the group. So the second one is that there's these giants like Indeed and LinkedIn that are now closing the loop. They are becoming like closed ecosystems. I believe they are an example for the next generation of job boards, and because they're fully outcome focused. They compete for hires and not for clicks. They already control both the job supply side and the candidate demand side. And I don't know if you saw the announcement of Indeed Connect that's now coming in the early next year to the US first. Very smart bundling job postings with screening and branding. but all closed in that ecosystem, where they own the disposition data. So really the feedback loop from, hey, I deliver you an apply, did it really turn into a hire? They know this and they own this data. And then thirdly, what's really important to us job boards is that we see staffing companies leading the spend away from job boards, and they moving it into semi-social. And why they do that is because, well, I said it before, where the job seeker goes, the employer will follow. The job seeker, Alpha now and Gen Z and the millennials, they are not on the job boards. They're on social. So spend is on social, and in the meantime, about 50% of that spend is now on social and SEM. So those three really big shifts are really important for what's going to happen next year, and how we are going to stay relevant.
Well, you mentioned the job seeker and their behavior, and of course, one of the things that we've heard about recently is their increased use of application bots. And I've not seen any good research data, but anecdotally, there appears to be a fair number of employers who post a job and 30 minutes later they've got 1,000 applications, most of which are unqualified. Do you think that situation undermines the the value of job board's principal product, job ads?
It's definitely not convenient, I think, for recruiters in this case. But no, I don't think it undermines job boards. What it does undermine is the click-based job model, and definitely the duration-based posting. And that's important because, I think it's very logical. The job seekers are using these tools. They're using apply automation bots. That whole apply process is broken. It's noisy. It takes a long time. You don't get feedback. It's repetitive. So then, what happens? Automation fills the gap. So I don't think we can blame the job seekers for using those tools. What it exposes really is that, the value doesn't sit in the volume anymore. It's not the volume of clicks that determine the value, but and even an apply is no longer determining the value or a signal for a good fit or intent. And the job ad on its own is no longer the product for recruiters that they are paying for. So they undermine the job ads if you sell them as volume. If you sell them as quality and job boards that can filter the intent and deliver outcomes, then it's fine. And it forces us job boards, and I don't know if it's an opportunity, but it forces us to move more upstream towards job seeker quality. We need to start using screening and ranking earlier, or offer it to make sure that we make the life of recruiters easier. And we have to price for outcomes, because if you price for outcomes, you guarantee that you deliver value. If you keep selling clicks, you feel the pressure. If you move to outcomes, you will win.
Well, without disposition data, though, it's tough to make a case about outcomes, isn't it?
Yeah, that was also one of the outcomes of the of the huddle. That the first thing that we need to do as job boards to stay relevant is to close the loop with data. And that's not easy. But there are players out there that can help us speed up that process. If we open the mic and there's some of the guys that were in the group then you will hear that some think it's sheer impossible to do that in a short time, and others think that it is possible. And they're at least leading KPIs and drivers for quality that can predict quality outcome to help us close that loop with data. But it's the number one thing, the number one fundamental that the group of job board experts said that we need to do to stay relevant, and that's close the loop with data.
Well, you open the door to a discussion of one approach, one strategy for shoring up the defenses, if you will, and creating more opportunity for job boards. Um, you can go down the path of developing some sort of product or technology that will address the disposition data thing. The other approach, however, is to partner, is to build partnerships, and not just around the disposition data idea, but to enable job boards to offer a portfolio of products and services that push their support for employers from the top of the funnel further down into other segments of the funnel. So there is a fair amount of partnering that goes on, certainly at TAtech conferences, but also year round. Uh, what do you think about that approach? Does that make sense in your view?
I think it has legs to partner always, as long as as long as the as long as the job board stays in control of the outcome. If we give it if we give the responsibility and the accountability away to a partner, then I don't think it's going to work. So, like with disposition data, that was one of the things that we determined that you can partner for, but you need to keep owning how you are using it to deliver value to your clients, right? So the integration with ATSs, you can partner for. There's no doubt about it. You can partner with somebody who offers you a screening tool, as long as you offer it to your. But basically, I think the client should not notice that you are partnering. As long as you are not, that they don't notice that you are partnering, and they come to a platform that is um, um, giving you the end-to-end service that you want, instead of to go off platform and get even more different providers, then I don't think it's going to work. That's not what employers are looking for. But if you can seamlessly integrate, and you can shorten your time to market, and I think there's no choice actually at this point in time, um, um, to partner. You have to partner, but you have to do very, very smart.
I think that's a very good point. A lot of partnerships fail because they're really positioned as an upsell to one partner's product line, and therefore there's no seamless integration. It looks more like a Chinese menu than it does really an end-to-end solution. And frankly, given the limitations in terms of staffing of many employers, having to do multiple contracts in order to get products in the door is almost a non-starter.
Yeah. No, we discussed this a lot, also during TAtech when we came back together. Um, I will name the five fundamentals that these guys came up with for a job board to stay relevant in 2026. So the first one was to close the loop with data, and there everybody agreed that we have to partner to speed up the time to market. So our clients want down funnel performance, and you can only prove that performance if you can measure it. So that was the number one. The second one was you have to build a reach engine. If you are a job board and you cannot offer reach outside of your own job board, or only outside of your job board into other job boards or affiliates or aggregators, that's not enough. You have to be able to offer reach into social and SAM, because that's where half of your audience is that they need. So that was the second most important thing. The third one was the apply intelligence. The job seeker will not accept anything less than relevance, and perfect matching. So, and that drives loyalty. The fourth thing was price for outcomes. It's going now really, really fast, and we have all been resisting to go there, because it's not easy to price for outcomes. And then, as you said, to show it and show the value, because you need to have some kind of feedback loop or disposition data. But I think that now the employer really wants it. So or I think we thought. And the last thing is that you must own your own job seeker experience. So that's your identity, that's your differentiator, and that's your free traffic, right? So those 5 things are there, and where we could partner was on close the loop, and where you can partner is on your reach engine. The other 3 things you really need to own. Number 3, 4, and 5 are the heart of who you are. It's your tech, your business, your identity. So your apply intelligence, your price for outcomes, your job seeker experience. That's the heart of your job board. The other stuff you can partner for.
Well, that's great. That's an interesting idea. Now, you, in some respects, have adopted a different approach. As you mentioned earlier, you've introduced a new product called Job Espresso. Uh, what is Job Espresso, and why did you take that approach?
Well, basically, it is. I don't know if it's a different approach, but it basically caters to the fact that you can partner for reach, right? So jobrapido has been around for quite a long time, and the platform, the programmatic recruitment platform that holds that 125 million job seekers, it needs to be fueled, right? So it grows with 500 to a million a month new users that come to the platform, and the way we have been refreshing, if you will, that platform continuously and reactivating the users in it is through our advertising platform. And that advertising platform is connected to a very large affiliate network. It's connected to social. We are a certified partner with Meta. We go to TikTok, etc. And then also for SAM, we are a certified partner for Bing and for Google, and we are very large clients for them. So we already built that whole advertising platform, but only for jobrapido and to fuel it. And when we saw that our clients, mainly job boards and agencies, were really in need of extending their reach, but didn't have time to develop the technology at scale, and didn't have the capacity, we thought, why don't we make this platform, this advertising platform, available to our clients, and just to plug in as a managed service. So Job Espresso is a one-stop shop for recruitment marketing. It's powered by jobrapido, our technology, and it's specifically designed for job boards and agency. And these agencies who need to move very quickly from being a traffic provider, basically, to become an outcome-based partner to their clients. They need to be able to offer reach into social, into SAM, and etc. So we make it very transparent with dashboards. We go to giving feedback up to the job level. And we fee only based upon performance. So it's really a performance-based model for them. So yeah, it's catering to what's needed out there. That's how the Job Espresso idea came up. And maybe nice to know little fun fact is that Job Espresso was actually the first name of jobrapido way back in 2006.
Interesting. Well, so I think, just to put a punctuation mark on our conversation, what we've concluded at the 50,000-foot level is that you need reach into the market in multiple channels in multiple ways. You need to extend that reach, continuously extend that reach. And you also need range. You need a portfolio of capabilities that you can legitimately offer to.
The future doesn't belong to the job boards that deliver the most traffic. That's behind us. It really belongs to the ones that deliver the right candidate, and the ones that really stand behind their outcome. That they can account for it. So just outcome based. So the job seeker is still there, and the employer will follow them. What has to change is the way that how do we create value, and how will we let ourselves be measured, right? Because that's it. Not how are we being measured, because everybody's looking down funnel already to us, but how will we let ourselves be measured? And that means that we need to open up and be transparent about it. It's also a huge opportunity for boards, right? Because if you can prove value, you can also price higher. The only reason why we are here with seeing a race to the bottom, and some of the boards are talking about becoming a commodity, because clicks are becoming a commodity and it's a race to the bottom. As the reason is because all our clients are hedging their risk. They don't know if the outcome will be good, and that's why they're just lowering the prices and they're pushing the CPA down. If you're able to show that you're delivering quality, they will pay for that. They will pay for the CPQA. There we go. Right, the cost per qualified candidate. If you can show that you are delivering quality, you can increase the prices and you can take bigger shares of wallet. And that's really the choice in front of our industry and in front of every job board out there. Can you become an outcome based partner and really let go, because it's a transformational change. It's really doing a different business to move more down funnel and start delivering quality.
I
I feel
also think it underscores the importance of customer relationships.
absolutely.
Every employer defines quality differently. It's idiosyncratic to each organization. So making sure that if you're going to be an outcome-based provider, you really have to know your individual customers exceedingly well. And that takes us back to the roots of job boards. The early job boards, particularly the niche and specialty sites, they knew their customers and their job seekers extremely well. We got away from that with the arrival of arbitrage and so forth. But moving back to really strong customer relationships is a way, it seems to me, to enable outcome-based talent acquisition.
Peter, I cannot agree with you more, and I notice it now that because moving from selling traffic, which we basically with jobrapido we were selling traffic. Do you want to buy my traffic? I got really good traffic, and my traffic is better than the other traffic. Try me. And so to becoming a partner for outcomes with Job Espresso changes the whole organization and the mindset of the organization. You have to get up to the level of the client and become a partner and help create outcomes together, and look at what you're seeing in the dashboards and what works and what doesn't work, and test again. Bringing Job Espresso to market didn't happen in November at the TAtech. We started in January to test with our clients, and it was really like a very rough road to understand what works and what doesn't work. And when you go too fast and you break something, you lose the trust of your customers, and they will turn away, and it's very hard to get a second chance. So you have to be very, very careful. And an outcome-based partner says it all, right? Partner. It's not a supplier. You're a partner.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, Rob and I have kicked around a lot of different perspectives on job boards. I think he and I both agree that job boards, like any other segment of the industry, is made up of many different kinds of businesses. Some are well run, some are not so well run. Some have very old-fashioned products and may be at risk. Others are evolving on a weekly basis to try to better align their capabilities, their products and services with those of their evolving customer base. So now it's your turn. For those of you who are in the audience today, as I mentioned at the outset, we are big believers in the open mic, in giving you a chance to participate in the dialogue. So just indicate in the chat stream that you'd like to be included, and our producer, Stephen O'Donnell, will bring you up on stage, and we'd like to hear from you. Give us your thoughts on what's ahead for job boards in 2026. Stephen, we have anybody raising their hand?
No, right now they're being a little bit shy. Rob, I have to ask myself a question, and in fact, let me just come on screen to do it. So the year ahead, all sorts of new products are being put in front of employers, and job boards are more integrated with the technologies than ever before. I remember years ago, maybe as far back as 10 years ago, all sorts of suppliers would be looking to integrate their assessment platforms, their video interviewing platforms with job boards. And there was the odd bit of experimentation, but mostly the job boards, held them off because it wasn't going to put much money on the revenue. Is that much more so the case now, where those integrated platforms that follow on from application are going to be onboarded and part of the job board experience within the job board platform or their ecosystem?
It's a great question, and I'm sure you have an answer as well. But knowing you, I have an answer as well. But the way I look at it, and it's a very simple way of looking at recruitment, has two stages, right? It has the sourcing and it has the selection. So, and in the middle is the apply. And up till now, we got away. We got pushed actually up to the apply, and then it went further than the apply. It went to a qualified apply. I think now is the time the job boards need to cross the line from sourcing to at least the very start of selection. If we don't do that, we cannot prove the value that we are creating. So for job boards that have focused a lot on the job seeker experience, have focused a lot on the technology and the matching technology, have focused a lot on quality and put the job seeker at the center of everything, they are going to be rewarded, because what you will see is that those sources will deliver the best qualified candidates that later on in the funnel will get placed and hired. Yeah. To show that, I think that you need to partner, right? So we have developed we call it Rank Rapido. We call everything Rapido. So Rank Rapido is we have Apply Rapido, we have Rank Rapido, but Rank Rapido is a screening tool which not only makes the life of a recruiter easier and delivers them a dossier, but also gives a score to the quality. And the score of the quality you can use to measure which source delivers the highest quality sources. So you don't only, it's an indicator for what's going to happen down funnel. But if you don't have that, you probably need to partner for it. It's much easier. I think by the end of the year, next year, the whole interview-based agentic agents thing is going to be commoditized. It's going to be table stake, not commoditized. It's going to be table stake. Everybody needs to have it, and everybody will have it.
Yeah. I'm seeing a couple of companies where when a job is posted, it's not simply posted. It's a search agent in its own right, and the job will go off as if it was a bot to go and find candidates, not only on the database of resumes on that job board, but wherever those candidates can be found, to prompt people to come back and make the application. And I know that job distribution has obviously been a thing in the past 8-10 years, but all the more so that each job can be its own sourcing agent if the technology is applied. Are you seeing that coming into to play?
I was talking to Tom Chevalier about that. He's not on, I think, because I think he's building something like that, and he calls them job seeker agents.
Yeah.
I have a call with him on Monday to discover more about what a job seeker agency means, but he already told me that the job seeker agent can also be just the supplier that delivers you that finds you the job seeker. Yeah. So in the end, where does the job seeker agent go? Does it go to every company on the web, or will it in the end us? I'm a job seeker agent as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I want to see that. I don't see that happening that quickly, but it can be proven wrong.
One last thing, 'cause I know I tend to go on a bit, but certainly on account
Right,
of the
Stephen.
on account of the NORAs, the Online Recruitment Awards, I very much look at things also from a candidate's perspective, and there are a lot of candidate-centric tools that are putting more control into candidates' hands, and it means that their expectation levels are raised. They're pushing back on some things they've been asked to do to apply for a job before, and asserting themselves in ways that that are relatively new for employers and job boards and ATSs and so on. So in terms of responding to what the candidate wants and what works for candidates, because job boards, let's face it, are job boards are not getting the same volume of traffic that they used to, or valuable application per vacancy. So they have to step up the level of service to and experience to job seekers. And how can that be done?
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. The root cause of why they don't
Yeah.
is probably not the fact that they got worse in their job seeker services or job seeker experience. It's because just a lot less job seekers in the younger generations are going to job boards. But then you still have those job seekers coming, and you need to be ready for them and give them the service that they want. Now you also need to be responsible, because you cannot be you cannot be you cannot be the solution to the problem, but also create the problem, right? So if you give those tools in the hands of the job seeker, like apply automation, then you need to do it responsibly, and you need to make sure that you don't create a problem that you then solve, because that is that's what lawyers do. That's that's not what we do.
On that happy note, we've talked a lot about partnering, so I would be remiss not mentioning that TAtech runs two major market conferences every single year, TAtech North America and TAtech Europe. And the centerpiece of those conferences is something called the Deal Center. The Deal Center is a unique venue set up specifically to enable senior business leaders like Rob to meet with other senior business leaders and explore partnerships and alliances, product integrations, marketing joint ventures, even investments, mergers and acquisitions. All of that happens at the TAtech Deal Center. So if you're in this line of work, do consider joining us. TAtech North America in 2026 will be held on May 6th through 8th in historic Charleston, South Carolina. A wonderful venue. If you're a foodie, it's the place to be. Plus, we're going to have some great speakers. And then TAtech Europe, which will be September 8, 9 in Amsterdam. So we hope we'll see you at one or both of those events. It's a great way to explore partnerships, to hear the kind of competitive and market intelligence that can help you get out ahead of your competitors in the space, and also to carry on conversations like this, where you explore innovations. You can look at new products like Job Espresso from jobrapido, and make sure that your site is properly fortified for the challenges next year. So I know we're very close to the holidays. I want to thank all of you for taking time out to join us today. We really appreciate your being here. Look for TAtech Live in January of 2026. Our topic for the month is going to be consolidation. A lot of that going on in the talent acquisition business space. So we're going to explore whether that's good, bad, or ugly for our industry. So please join us then. Have a very happy holidays, and thanks again for joining us. Bye-bye now.
Happy holidays. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Adios.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate your being here.